This is Chariot TV.
This is Chariot TV. Mwadu about Chariot TV. You may be a done then in the bro. When him say Saturday in the city na straight talk and a bit go on Chariot TV. Wabaswa now I hit it on the like button. No, whether you're watching us from Facebook or watching us from YouTube, and also hit on the share button. Or hit on the share button now. No, I share my phone. And one way I wait to my share, I'm a for enya and tie is to tap share on your WhatsApp no but more than never at highlights and at follow a second home. Bema it will notify all here or more if you do a china no. I'm also so etimi ehunu na almost etimi ati ase no almost etimi joining yen live. Anyway, the book of Daniel and visions, and no, Anna Ibusua, yes, young one day. We have done episode 1, episode 2, but to episode 26. This is the 26th episode. Yeah. And this is Daniel chapter 11. Chapter 11. Anna Ibusua and one day. And to our joining, I just try to tell a friend by sharing the content. With my copy link and also now post to on WhatsApp platforms. I also check platform. So the bit my motivate for normal so the book of Daniel no entire enya dia homa nipa attention the man who be any wo Daniel in the lion den and Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego in the fiery furnace and in the Sunday school you man yet to Daniel in the lion den and one ya to and most people don't know the content and the message of the book of Daniel and Tiajebre or Chariot TV straight talk so Anna Yedan the just trying to understand the book of Daniel, how it relates to the vision in there, and any message for us as Christians. Then once Anna and me, my guests as always, Bashadak. Bashadak, me Charles.
John Majoso.
Now Pomo.
Pom de Kaye. Akadiaka.
Yeah, Akadiaka. Yakan Subaba. Yakan. But could be video be on social media or see that kind of beba.
Yes, sir.
A quick one is we have been doing chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, to 26. Maybe a quick one on anything else. So Odisha and Sana. Go to chapter 11 next year.
Well, I think so you'll be I will follow the discussion. We are not just giving you what the Bible is saying, but we're trying to take away any kind of confusion as a result of enipa enyamehu the Bible no can it amanfo emane yehuhu na afi omo kire say abo abi free so ase bebana. It's my prayer. Well, I can't dictate what you want to do on your program, but it's my prayer. Say, hey, be what do anybody the book of Revelation? Said about sa near man a shenkrofo adwinimu and now Revelation is saying we be no. Normally I'm more link it to the book of Daniel. No, e be sa near man e dey fro. People need to understand. Say. Christianity and as a woman. Christianity is a taught religion. So we need to understand what we are doing, and then we move forward to apply Nema Yisiano to make our faith stronger. It's a kobasa would you who any DBBH wabra yo unim say ayano kra na say no kra then there's going to be a problem. Mostly, I tell people, say, when you come on Chariot TV and you're listening to some of the things that we talk about, it is important, say, over cross-checking. As I say, luckily enough, the book of Daniel is linked to a lot of historical facts. You can easily find out. various books any info on the internet. What I was saying is that we need to understand say Daniel ngoma ngoma my information very, very true. And yes, say a friend saying fairy tale be and story keke. And prophecies are about something that is going to happen. Anyhow, as an man is see the fact remains Daniel Ngomano is so accurate when it comes to historical fact. Now you about the book of Daniel chapter 11 we will see how these things actually happen. And yes, Adia sabi oboni trim ena waka once.
I setting up the stage for it. I feel we're joining. We are live on Chariot TV. The book of Daniel and Visions. And no, Adusia Anna Yusia Jugunu. So Abamodia Abaswa. No share Amayana or like it. Send a bear for us with me. I join in. Nameka was say Chariot TV. So your website is running. You go to chariot.tv.com. chariot.tv.com website. There are so many things that you upload on the website. I be boa ma also sweat me adusua o Bible mu sweat me ewie budie ana ukọ ye bomodin said enche kra no e be launch something new on Chariot TV anything na ye work tirelessly say na be this hard so beba na ye launch am afofo nso ahwe from Monday from Sunday the first day of the week that is Nampechna to Saturday the last day of the week you run programs throughout the entire period. Any other programs here you can look up and check out on our programs and about me about. I mean, my point is that Straight Talk we do other programs as well. And you go to the channels, don't subscribe to YouTube. Now just subscribe to YouTube. Go YouTube on our channel now. There are so many things. Just go to the playlist and check it out. Yeah, many videos. We are doing a lot of things there, trying to send the gospel message to the world outside there. A live show to drop in commenter. Who no camera who's a Jamaica is watching live. Jamaica Michelle. Baby will be an American. Bashada. Before we jump into the chapter 11. I think let my couple be big crass and a baby to me for. Chapter 1 it talks about the book of Daniel. It talks about Daniel, the best song free captivity at the Babylon. Chapter 2 is the book of Nebuchadnezzar's first vision about a golden image. Chapter 3 is the book of Nebuchadnezzar's image on one case a golden image on one case erected the plains of Dura the three friends of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the fiery furnace Chapter 4 is the book of Nebuchadnezzar's second vision, where in mind and the idea there was a rubber stamp that was put. I can't winter piano now unya in the mind or for those things that discusses Nebuchadnezzar being humble at that point. Chapter 5, we are introduced to the demise of the Babylonian Empire, where Babylonian Empire under Belteshazzar. Belshazzar is Daniel, but Belshazzar under Belshazzar, the end of the Babylonian kingdom. And chapter 6, and what is they make us say famous in the book, that is Daniel in the lion's den. The exchange of power, Medes and the Persians have taken over. And Daniel was there was a decree that goes against praying to any other god apart from the god of the Babylonians and the Darius and call for and Daniel prayed to God as his usual custom is in the Emmanuel trouble with the rulership then, and he was sent to the lion's den. Chapter 7, we are introduced to the first vision. The first vision of Daniel that is ever recorded in the pages. We looked extensively at it, which was discussing the beast. Then we pointed out that chapter 7 Nininia in chapter 2, where they parallel the kingdoms. In chapter 7, no, you looking up the kingdoms from the standpoint of part of a golden image, an image. Chapter 7, no, look up the vision, from the standpoint of animals. Chapter 8, no, zero two of the animals down. Discussing
patience and then
patience, yes, and looked at
vision.
how their struggle and power came about. In chapter 9, take a keen look at the 70 weeks.
So my main in something in chapter 7 no, and 8 no. On 7 no is talking about Babylonian Empire no. Anyhow, power be transition from Nebuchadnezzar akọ media for no. Now for akọ Persians or Medians and Persians or Nako Grecians or Nako Romans or Nafe Aba Yankopon Crawford Church no. 8 no. Chapter 7 no, actually talks about 5 kingdoms. Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, your friend said the Medians and the Persians, the Grecian, and the one that he didn't mention, which is the Roman. And I'll say, Nina verse 18, no, in fact, verse 14 and 15, no, but can't you say, Daniel so anajumu hunadi hununo na oberima bi ba or it said he is slain, and to him is a son of man, and also to him was given a kingdom, dominion, and friends, a glory. So that is the 5th kingdom, which is Christ Asafono. But we do chapter 18. I said okay, no. 0 Nebuchadnezzar ahini no. Omo take over no, which is the Persians and the Medians no. And 0 into Persian for no so omo mbeje every omusunsem, which is the Alexander the Great then. But we chapter 9 no I can't say. How is it going to affect Israel for no? I want to 70 weeks in this animal about bed about become so. Ote chapter 8 and only 7 as it makes you understand what is happening in chapter 9. Israel for no go through that problem no. And at chapter 10, which you discussed last week, into bit more to sorry. I'm saying
chapter 10 and I discussing last week now a vision of Daniel talking to a heavenly creature.
Yes.
And description of things are happening there in chapter 10. So now we are on chapter 11 as you promised here. We'll do about two parts if permitted. So Mami starts, let me read a bit of chapter 11 verse 1. So we start making a commentary on how they look like. So in verse 1, I'll say, also I, in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. And a mighty king shall stand up, and he shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. Maybe if I mean,
yeah, Joe, they're trying to say, yeah, connected in 70 I see a picking from chapter 7 no. Chapter 7 no, they are making it clear say Nebuchadnezzar or Hindi no everybody. So them say chapter 7 happen here, and sana chapter 5 and 6 ever
yes.
So Daniel making it clear say was on dia sana man beba na Hindi beba wie. It's you know, and near 7 and 8 no. The future, like what is going to happen in the future. Because at the time of Daniel Eka chapter 7 and chapter 8 in 1:7, Jonah Nebuchadnezzar ahini that saw her.
Okay.
Now, in chapter 5 and 6, chapter 5 no Nebuchadnezzar ahini no abawiye ama media for not take over. So what I say now, chapter your friend is saying 9 and 10 no. Etwa Nebuchadnezzar ahini na bawiye media for no mobile no how we proceed. Now in work he said try to expand their kingdom near them. And Emma Bebro Honmo Daniel who ya as more like a seer to the king of the medias, or try so be church remove amo matter. And that is what we are seeing in chapter 10. Say chapter 10, no Daniel can say or no the who ye above one and the Kasai say in Kunimdia Bama Jew for them or Masako Munchi. Just say Jew for them Masako Munchi. What about media for no any pressure for no? Because at that time I watch trust now media for the pressure for the Bresso. Nebuchadnezzar did the Chomko. Alexander the Great did Yamai. It's media for pension, a dinner, air cost of Danny BC. It was Daniel started by saying, say, Okojina Darius the media, and trying to comfort him. Then in our comfort. Or some of them nano or some of him.
Yeah.
And we'll make it a case say, or he awesome no. Near me, I have for be baby back on no chia. Or when chi and greasy for ever take over. So in this chapter, no, to give you an overview of what is going to happen in this chapter, no. Daniel is coming to tell us how media for or we will lose of the kingdom.
Okay.
On say in chapter 5, no, how
Persia took over Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes take over
exactly.
Babylonians.
18 chapter 11, so near how media for no, almost so the third kingdom, no, which is the Grecian Empire, no, how and to take over from the Persians. That's how you have to see what is going to happen. Said the Near Bekosu woman, Emetoto, and you and me, US, and Europe.
Yeah,
because I want a man for getting confused with what is happening because Ubenya Obia, Alberto Noboa say I analysis. I connected dot to dot to be now. I can say, hey, I call we now we say Saudi Arabia for a way Mugabe, way I can't know Libya reference saying.
Libya.
Gaddafi. So people will try and connect with where UN for, where America for. There be. She text and the Hawker. Daniel said, in the first place, I stood by the king in the first year of Darius, the Mede. 80. Daniel said, I stood to confirm. Joe, Sasa said, the Daniel Bekano is something that he talked about some time past. And I watch the other day. Amazing.
So more of like, so the other Chen said, is he first of all spoke to the Median king about it.
Yes,
he's reporting to us what has transpired when he consoled the king, the Median king.
It's just say Daniel Median king who said the Nebuchadnezzar hini no ya jifri ni nsem no. Saa so no so Median king we almost hini ne bede ye beji. So he's consoling this king say yes nana je de beji na emum de bekoso ama ya je no. That is what we're going to read in this chapter.
Okay. So Safi now joining we are discussing the book of Daniel, chapter 11. It is our Bible about more than the fact. We are quite sure about more than the fact. Now Bible so on to be as a man from Bible to. When we find Konya is now kai out of us unia Bible uko bookshop or motor be. The boy thing, but any day iPhone. Ana any day say any day enche Huawei the tablet in your market say to no copy the top. We are hard copy bound and we are studying the book of Daniel and we are in chapter 11. We are kind kakra to verse 3 no. But my main kind verse 3 because say and a mighty king. So Brashadrak, what catch na be also said there shall be 3 kings of Persia and there is a 4th one, and the 4th one will be richer than all of them. And verse 11 now, or say a mighty king shall stand up, and he shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. If you are able to what is happening there?
Okay, so we'll share the history of the Persians. Almost started with all the Persia, Medians and the Persians.
Okay.
We almost started with the Median king, who was called Darius. Now, from him, you remember Cyrus also.
And Cyrus is a Persian king, a Persian monarch by name. And Darius is
more like
a Medes throne name.
Yes.
Medes no mahimfu, akunya din.
Yes. It is Cyrus there. I don't know, if like Yan can say, because Cyrus' name was actually mentioned in scripture, a prophecy about him was made. Say or no, Obeba, in fact, about 150 years before he was born. Say or no, Obeba Israel for Nasako back to Omwahinimti. His actual name is mentioned.
Okay.
What will say the identity? His actual name is mentioned. But I am for now, I can't be Bruno or Womo Akonya Din and a day. Etoso. Now, Ibn Mohoswa, Yababenyo Omu real name. Now, Joe, and someone Daniel Obeka chapter 11. No. The whole chapter 11 now Yabeka and near me woman. Include you. The things in chapter 11 includes the book of Ezra, the book of Nehemiah, the book of Esther.
You mean period that chapter 11
chapter 11 no in some obekano in 15 ho and 3 books when you know.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? Because by the time the chapter 11 obeka say we know na some walking in say media for ahini no yaje from some the Alexander the Great and Crawford.
Yeah.
Other say 80 at the time so that the all kinds of same we know. Na Israel for no munyan call. Omunyan free your friend is saying Babylon anchor back to Omukrum. 80 between the time of Daniel can say and the end of chapter 11 no a hot na the books 3 books of Mabubosi Ezra Nehemiah Esther a honeshe it will be a Wusian Bible be an Ezra say the book ne Ezra Eshe Daniel chapter 11 you can the book of Nehemiah Eshe Daniel chapter 11 you can the book of Esther Eshe Daniel chapter 11 it is a wunya betie honasia afena already no unimun someone a course in chapter 11 in the book of Ezra unimun someone a course in the book of Esther unimun someone a course in the book of Nehemiah others say it ahemfo kro na yabobo omudin ewo sa enwuma no mu nyina no you will find them being described in Daniel chapter 11.
So
That's
maybe
how opposite.
so maybe one maybe at the you mean during the time of writing of the book of Ezra, the time of Nehemiah, or the time
Yeah.
of Esther, the people who were ruling at that time were the Persian monarch, the Persians
Yes,
and the
Persians and the Medians. Yes.
Medians na ADBS at that time.
Yes,
But
sir.
no, it's a Persian monarch, no, it's Persian, and Nehemiah Ezra say Persian king, and Nehemiah Ezra no, say Mr. Mamenko Jerusalem, Namenko Papasu, Namenko Papasu. So
Yeah.
it was during those kings' time,
Mhm.
and Daniel describe what is happening during those times and how it's going to happen for change of power to switch from these Medes and the Persians to the Grecian Empire. That is how chapter 11 is.
Yes. It's on saying him for never born mudino, no, or back one somewhere chapter 11. So the description Daniel Dema in Nana Uwechino, I am for me and Sanse Nebebano. Sign him for a who do mube banino. Daniel is singing out 3 bia or mube prominent. In fact, 4 of them ever very prominent. Sign him for no babu bomudino. Say Omuna Omubeya Casino. Womu and a yeti omun cancel so the rest of these 3 books now. Aka mabuboson.
Okay.
That's what I say. It is how you be a unim o Bible factor. Easy mouse abetia say, oh, okay, Daniel and some obekan hu in chapter 11 in no. Ahimfuya ya kan mo asem Esther yi, ya kan mo asem Nehemiah yi, wo mo anwa asem na ye kan chapter 11 no.
Yeah, and I think maybe share more light on that. I read somewhere and I heard people also saying that a good grasp of your Old Testament history shed light on so many of these things. Sometimes the book of Daniel and even the book of Revelation and things like that, they shed light on them.
Yeah.
So, for example, one way all kind Old Testament now, you might even be thinking that one way you say Esther, Nehemiah, Ezra, they are all even before Isaiah. You see, you might be looking at them. You might think them that they are before Isaiah more than their dinner.
But Joe, the point in say we will be on Follow Chariot TV at in discussion on Test Talker. Over better say the Bible books in the Yashishan according to how things happen in history. What am I say? It is my mouth. If you give me time, add quickly. From Genesis up to Deuteronomy, no, Israel for Adibon Fitias, Ebesi Israel for Omo Enipa Moses obey you free kwasum. What ba say? 80 Moses and ebe chere Israel for be amu frenie. I want to also free the Yankopon di ka bo no. Ebesi mu Israel for no so no eni. That's what we see in the book of Genesis. In the book of Exodus here, mu ko nkwasum no kwan Yankopon fa so yi mu free nkwasum no. Leviticus here, emra hodo a ye de ma mo asofo se be ya mbetimi asom Yankopon, the Levites. Numbers say ye kan mo ne de mo akokon ahodo. Soldiers ahodo ye be kenkan mo, ene abusuan ahodo, ene mra ahodo a etwa se mudi so. Deuteronomy ye say ye no mu wie. Me Moses me ne mo wie, enti no mra ne nyina na me de ma mo me ne mo ye dey. E komu bio. Na mama final words ahodo a mo de kɔ asase no so. Joshua ye de mu wura asase no mu ne ɛko ahodo a mo bedie na mo nsa bɛka asase no. Judges ye munya asase no wie ye no. Ɛkwan a mo fa so ye rule mo. Judges no di mo anim. Akandifo di mo anim etoto neema. Ebesi Samuel so. First Samuel, Second Samuel. Kwan ya wo Samuel. Any how Israel for no person omo mpe judges ni bio omo pe ahemfo no. So I say it first king oba Saul and David beto aso. It free David eba no David asefo no. any ahemfo no ena ahinier mu cheye ena David asefo no konya Southern Kingdom ena Northern Kingdom no ahemfo different bi ba ya enti ahemfo no sa ahemfo no wo mo ennuom omo yeye ni nyina no ena yehu Second Kings Second Samuel, First Kings, Second Kings. Ena sa Kings no ebreso no ena ebe fa omo konkwaso mu enti omfiri nkwasum no beduru ye no ebeden no obi ahunu se mimifra busua we mu mifiri mu ena Ezra tro a free Adam so ebesi your friend is saying sabra na ono Ezra no emufiri nkwasum mu aba no niema ekoso eno ne friend the Chronicles no 81st Chronicles, Second Chronicles no Emma niema hodo a ekoso abesi bra omufiri nkwaso mu bae eno ne de eye Ezra etro emma omo ena Ezra no ma detailed of ni book Ezra no ma detailed of niema hodo a ekoso a enu nti omo no sa ba eye Jerusalem asase no so ena Nehemiah ene Esther emma yen niema hodo a omo nso so ekoso wo bra wo mu firi nkwaso mu aba no de esisi ye but what I say we are about Job ne Psalm and Proverbs ne eno ye various enyom to ahodo a ebinum ye part of ebinum ye before Israel for no the book of Job ebi ye Israel for na setena him for ahodo the book of Psalms ebi anwen Samuel Solomon betra akonya so chroye Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and the Songs of Solomon. Then you come to a D4 ahodo. Now say D4 ahodo no free Isaiah so ekosi Malachi no. Enkyere say afei na sabusuwe no happen ansa no moba. There be it is a D4 ahodo we no. Esa uche omugu a free Samuel so ebesi omukọ nkwaso mu bae no. But that's what I say.
Yeah.
Samuel omu konkwaso mu bae no a difo no bi omu bae any Isaiah any Jeremiah wo mo ye omu adwuma ansa na nkrofo konkwaso mu Amos Jonah Joel tankofo nyina ye omu adwuma ansa na omu be konkwaso mu ana omu firi nkwaso omu won nkwaso mu no so omu won nkwaso mu no omu nso adifo omu so ye adwuma was omu won nkwaso mu no mu ebine Daniel, Ezekiel. And on free kwasumu bae no, a D form ye adwuma ni bi, any Hagar, Zerubbabel, your friend say, Zachariah. What am I say? Any omu free kwasumu bae ne bi, any Malachi. And you know, sa the Bible books no, sa ni arrange no. And man can say. Once Esther Dikan Eja Isaiah and the Esther chance and Isaiah. No, that's not how it is. You have to understand, say it is arranged according to groupings, categories. It doesn't mean say one category happened before the other. It's Hebrew history na esino from Genesis up to Chronicles, Hebrew history no. And within the history no, near my CC and what your friend is saying, Job to Ezra to Malachi. It's Ezra to Malachi no. Nina happened between Genesis and Second Chronicles. But what I say, we are the interest in it. Yes, Malachi, from Malachi to Tama Yesu Bebano, and near man who see.
You mean from Malachi, which in our Bibles is the last
book of the Old Testament, you know. And
Matthew showing up in that first,
yes,
as the first book of the New Testament.
Yes.
Between those two testaments, you know.
Near my see or Eka. Near my word Daniel chapter 11. No?
Good. My main kakra. I say some few comments here, but let's read them. Mo say eja Dennis bedeku adan ana ohwe eja di so. Mo say ye maame Adobia Dina. Say good afternoon, children of God. Maame echiao. Ana mo say Anthony Akuwa is watching us live. I believe he is the one watching us from Israel. James and social from YouTube. I mean, I'm just kakra.
Opa yankai we ni kakra verse 2 and 3 no.
Yeah.
Na yema the facts no.
Also say verse 2 they say, and now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia. In other words, 3 kings aside the king na waka ho asem.
Yes, ohene na oteso na chi 3 kings na beba.
Yeah. And the fourth shall be far richer than they all.
Exactly. On say kingdom no is expanding.
Mm-hmm.
It will be about or be expanded or be trim. But the bedroom 4 no so no. Na ahenie no emu ayeden atre. Na Joe, history try and say ahemfo a wo mu ba we know at least 3 kings be or we need to note them. The first one who no Darius no. Darius nechi no ahemfo ahodo a omo beba in the history of Israel no. Persians no. Ba ko be a friend no Cambis and Cambis. And you Semnidin say media or say Smedia. Smedia. And about so de Darius. Darius we no
Hespastis. We no one can get him.
Or no one be friend of Darius the Great, no. Eti Osha Sankrofo ya omo be ya 3 kings na mabubo omudin no. Campus Smedia ena Darius the Great. Now that 3 way echi and also there's going to be a 4th one and he will be richer than 3 way munyina. Joe, sir, the 4th one now here richer no. Xerxes,
okay.
Sir, Xerxes no. On one the book of Esther no. Your friend was saying
Ahasuerus.
Now
yeah, talk.
I want you to look at something. Yanko the book of Esther chapter 1. Never there. 80 at the time when Esther asemi no. Not 3 things now Daniel say ombesi ebe happen no. Now happen that. Ajo mami kasa asem so that me remfi. Na tie for so engine ho. When him say in the history of critics, Bible criticisms, you know. Joe when him say obi anyone was sorry atia say Daniel asem all kind of chapter 11 in yanokre.
That mean kind be sir.
Obia jitum say asem no dey yanokre. Now when him critic our mama. Critic ni say it is too exact to be a prophecy.
In other words, nipa ne tro no ebre ana ade ne si. It has happened after the time after the issue.
Say Daniel Shem come say ade we besi nampa ni nansi pepe pen de ene ade ni si ansa na Daniel otro.
Written before it was written after the fact.
After the fact. Meanwhile no Daniel tenase ewo or say Darius time. Oh yeah, I say in the 1st year of Darius. Eti ohene Darius odi kan ho asem na no yeden.
Onene
kasa. Yet he was telling something that will happen exactly the same way. Or see the 4th king no. Obeye sikenia onye nipa ketewa na hini mu betre. Yan go the book of Esther na ha dey.
I say chapter Esther chapter 1.
Aye.
1 or say, now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 170 and 20 provinces.
But out here. Wouldn't be India or
on the map there, isn't it?
Say, enka may you be mamma crank coming, mamma, small map be mamma. I will try and see 7 far. But Joe, share mammy mouth, maybe the breakdown so that will be able to name the world map and we'll see it. Also, we share we as a map. Yawo Europe, yawo Africa, and yawo Asia. But
yeah,
Europe, Africa, Asia. Now, a hena on my Israel or Moshe.
Well, Europe.
Israel, you can't say Europe, but Russia assassin between Asia, Europe, and Africa.
Yeah, it touches the 3 continents in.
Exactly. 80 Nesro Israel for Mosro say. And I do a Israel for Sro and medians and Persians and almost say.
Yeah. You mean Hona Ahinkro, their major city, that's where their best city mean Canada.
Yes. 80 Wamukro no ankasa Womudi ewiase so sa time no. Ene ehonum no. 80 yo me say
but try na me hwe ma men kan some comment aba
but ma me
kan some comment aba yeah emwa I will try to fix that, you know. And before we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube as well. I'm dropping your comment. We do near camera. Straight Talk on Chariot TV, the book of Daniel and Vision. GDA says so. Chariot TV, you know, we need now. So Daniel, the only one the lion, Daniel in the lion's den. Now it's a water. That's one she. My main kind some comment about yeah, my Emilia or say good evening, brethren, watching live. I am my main I'm also I believe someone or say my directors only for pen and paper in news. Who the only more Daniel Human why Daniel and the Lions dead. Daniel Lions and then a Sunday school. More modern so this year. What are comment in the main kind? I say all the comments will be able to Facebook or main kind. If you say animals will be more things so watching us live from Canada. Ubed the chow Bomodin. Say Afe and we're joining in. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. Chariot TV, so many programs are here. And you can find so many information about Chariot TV on our website. Go to chariot.tv.com. Just log in on chariot.tv.com. You can find so many materials. All our programs are outlined there. And you'll find most of our programs there uploaded. You have articles, there are so many things materials that you upload the channel and website, you know, and you can find so many interesting materials about one casa, wabrabo, any we could smack into. Aside Straight Talk, there are other programs are on Chariot TV. On Sunday, Nyamepa, Action Time, Ubedmoti, I'll be commenting on any email about Action Time, Jumedino. And on Monday, our for that, any I should have also that. Family, love and family corner, a casa for their home, relationship, those things we discussed it, and Ababi on Suna, a Jina Kunya was Abdon. So on Tuesday, a point out where if there's a pack for back now, we are still preparing to launch to kickstart point out. Anything who see a Juma or but don't worry, soon a Baba out. On Wednesdays, Bible answers, they're down so etnasi. Now, we say with Sababu and na year no or Sapan. So a very interesting program morning on Wednesdays, same time. On Thursdays, so a projectic hour. We have not also started that program yet. We hope to start it very soon. And on Friday, a test talk. Jonathan Obi, a Japan, and then Bashadrak, and look at the Bible books, you know. roughly they are now in Hebrews chapter 9 or chapter 10. So what flow program look at Hebrews 9, 10, that area more. And I'm do musha say free Genesis na kra na mudiaba eba bedru sabre no. Bomode na join. And on Friday, no Saturday, and then is street talk. Bomode street talk. It's a modern NOT, your calendar listen and the other programs fortifying lectureship, digital lectureship, other programs as and when they come, then we do them as well. Digital lectureship there is locked in August, as hopefully August you do interesting program you be lining up trying to admonish ourselves in that regards. It's that we say why you crowd there and the uncle
yeah, Joe. Inti the actually that is the world map no. And in fact, we the known world places, and I said the Rebecca said the civilized world at the Bible time no. It's high Africa. But on whom is sense no.
You who sense no, you can see that.
Aha Europe. Aha Asia. In fact, oko actually say ya. And our who North America and South America. But Bible doesn't mention them into yankoho. Into yenina haya Africa. Esroha Egypt. Aha. Hefa. Sudan nomne Ethiopia no ahanini. When your friend the Red Sea no. Ahani your friend the Mediterranean Sea. And the Bible geography kakra na ye no. Yo yenzumu nko inside kakra na ehwe ade bi. It high Egypt. High Israel, Lebanon and Westron.
Lebanon Strait.
These are the your friends saying modern days no. Yo okosro ha yenkosro na ehwe ade. Eye aha. Aha. And a friend a Turkey no, and one a friend Asia Minor.
Asia Minor.
And it into aha and a Greece. A Macedonia no sa area no say any actual or North Macedonia.
North Macedonia, Bulgaria more.
Good. Now Oba Aseha. I mean come a chica crana here. Oba infifia aha na Israel no kai. Aha na Israel assassin.
Yes.
Canaan assassin. Now, if free so we send so we your friend the Persian Gulf. We're the Persian Gulf. Do so we that's one. Your friend the Black Sea, Black Sea no. In so we the Kens another son. Your friend the Caspian Sea. And the whole world of the Bible no is within that 4 or 5 sea way. Mediterranean Sea. The Paul ne Salas mo Paul and Cotito Malta no.
Malta.
So
and our King James when military.
Any in so we are Mediterranean. And one of Cyprus also, and one of Fasoko Ephesus name San Enunini.
And
Australia Black Sea. And a higher Caspian. And a higher Persian Gulf. Not down the Red Sea. Now, you can't Persia for any media for Joe. Persia for media for. It's medians and Persians brothers or more. Now, the interesting part what do we Assyria for almost Babylon for almost it's Assyria for the Babylon for no can I say Babylon for the to Assyria for we.
And Assyrians were the ones that came for the northern parts of Israel.
Northern part of Israel for Assyria. Sa Syria for we mu a eno Yakopon ka kire Jonah say onko tu omfo na odwane call Mediterranean Sea so no nsu komene no
yeah
nti ahana na yeso oba ena ote 5 puwe so now hwade bi wa ha media for no any patience no omuso na kambom no mbetu Babylon na ye kan Babylon jo eno na ye Iraq no Iraq eno ni Babylon no enti esoro ha ena ye Assyria sa enso mienu ya hu on river ye nam ha yi we your friend Tigris say okay ye Daniel nwoma no chapter 8 one
the Hiddekel
no eno ne nti ade bi na esensa ha na enam bebe am de mekeza na oba na your friend Tigris and I want say enso no bi so nam from ha in fact say me zoom na me ko inside na obo say ensu kese on ensu enam ha eno their friend the Euphrates no Euphrates any 80 Tigris between Tigris and Euphrates no asase ne ni partner ho eno their friend Mesopotamia no now the Esther can kire ne say ohene Ahasuerus no ne time no o rule from Ehefa Ethiopia
India to Ethiopia.
They would have Ethiopia first. Ethiopia how?
Yeah.
Ethiopia neha. And also up to India. A teacher said, "Oh, rule for all these places are India near you. India. India near. Wow. India near. Wait. Your friend the Indian Ocean no and I say be friend no Arabian we no enuni it wo hwe ewiase ankasa say na tie eti ohene no rule from all these places which means say on time no na hene no enye Mesopotamia mfimfin ha any Israel for no asase nkwa no mo fa yo no he extended to India. Which means say Afghanistan bemu, Pakistan bemu, ABC, India. Now let's go back to the book. Najo, maybe.
You mean Daniel?
What's that?
You mean Daniel?
The book Esther in America. Yanko the book of Esther and what Chrey and say. Sa on hini way no. Not or you or the four, which ties in with what Daniel described as the fourth king or Beba after these three kings are Obubo Madika Abubo Mudin.
Yeah,
it is our fourth king. What do you think he will also think? He will continue to think of expanding his kingdom. Now, Arawo 7 said, in his quest of ruling and getting more places, and Obeshia Nequentia. But in the book of Esther, there, or can't say, or anyway, or person be expanded na nenigiemu say because history train say that period now, or yeah, afashebia or can't say ne yere Basti, MSA.
Yeah.
Man. It is believed that period, not all planning war into Europe. That it was not just a Niger, it was a plan work to get into Europe, a Macedonia side.
He assembled his generals from.
He assembled his generals, but strategically, say what assemble generals are. Obiabaka say, okay, then you want to fight. That's why you're assembling your generals. It will be a time for and you start thinking, say, hey, I'm going to prepare Abayaso. It instead of assembling your generals, you just invite them for a party. And if you invite them for a party, baby, you'll be a free baby, and on fun perform more and some party. So all that your enemies will be thinking about is just a party. But not a strategy to attack.
Yeah.
That's what we see in the book of Esther. So I'm just trying to let you see, say, the book of Esther, and a part of the thing Daniel talked about in Daniel chapter 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we can go back to chapter 11. And
Yeah,
I hope so.
I will explain and enjoy it. Me did yes, I enjoy. And just some few comments. I mean, kind some comment about where Jamaica. The boss and Kasa new. Rashada, so open my boss and Kasa, my boss me.
Oh, that.
Yes, so much to learn. God bless you, brothers.
Boss, and me boss is a meza.
My boss and Kasa. So if you have a beauty, or I was or you hear me boss and Kasa. Open my boss and Kasa. My boss and Kasa. We want to see interesting map. Me just say Pascal Yankee. I say good evening. Good evening, brethren. Greetings from Antwerp, Belgium. Where I'm from. Yankee, no. But Yankee, let's move.
Let's go back to chapter 11. No,
verse 4. No, say. And when he has, he's talking about the mighty king in verse 3. That is, and the mighty king shall stand up, and he shall rule with great dominion.
And Joe, that stand up now, what the meaning of stand up? Then say he will come to reign.
Okay.
He will come.
Okay. And when he has when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and shall be divided towards the four winds of the earth, heaven, and not to his posterity.
No, Joe, there's something we missed there. Until one here, but you'll go back to verse 2. So stand up now. Yeah, explain it. Yeah, and confused. So chapter
verse 2
I was saying.
And now I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth shall be far richer than they all, and by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realms of Grecia.
The point now, what Hannah say, Papa Yamika say, or planning party or didn't generals by Xerxes and I say Ahasuerus, or no planning against Greece, Alexander the Great for no.
Okay.
But ne quest to conquer Greece, what change Daniel change or change we know. The third verse now become one is no longer Medians and Persians,
Okay.
It is rather how the someone came up from the Grecians or conquer also say he will be broken.
Okay, Matthias.
There's 3 new corner. It's talking about your friend is saying the Grecians.
The Grecian conqueror, the one who defeated the Persians. Yeah. You take it over the kingdom and became specifically in history Alexander the Great.
Alexander the summary of verse 1, 2, and verse 1 and 2. Then say there is going to be some kings on be arising after this Darius here done their comfort, and those kings on be arising. There's going to be a 4th one. That 4th one, no be try say or be conquer the Grecians, but he will fail.
He will fail. Okay. Ophelia and the mighty king. Ophelia and the mighty king.
Ophelia and the mighty king of the Grecians.
Yeah.
The other the Grecians, a mighty king, how also ever falling.
Okay.
So there are 2 falls in verse 2 and 3. Don't get confused about that.
Okay. Matthias. I say see, the mighty king shall stand up and shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. So, I mean, it's clear depiction of how Alexander the Great used to rule in his leadership. He does things according to his will. He wants to take the Obian kind of casa, Hila for Casano, or the Bombardier to Obian Hila for Casa, Hila for
and Joe, according to his will, so they say, you will not be taken to Macedonia.
Yes,
Alexander the Great will not take captives. Say, Israel for the more
so unlike Babylonians and the Medes and the Persians, where Daniel was enjoying the privilege of even making decisions and being part of the ruling class.
Yes.
The book Alexander the Great never came.
For now, Alexander the Great. This king Albano, because we are going to talk more about it. This king now Albano will not do that. He will allow Obia to stay in your homes. However, you have to learn the Greek, your friend saying the Greek language.
The Greek language,
and Joe, that is how interesting our God is. Remember, the Bible say, when time was due in Galatians 4 verse 4, no, God will send forth his son, born under the woman, born under the law, born by a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who are under the law. So that time no can when the time was due, no. Na ewiasimuha obi can Greek kasa.
Yeah.
Even Jew for nankasa no. Na ye Greek speaking Jews. What does it mean?
Hellenistic Jews.
Hellenistic Jews. Wamu bi ena obebo mu di on Acts chapter 2 no. Omu bi ena Acts chapter 6. Na omne Jew for no eye akasakasa say aduanu exactly. It you see say because of Alexander the Great we know wahana Daniel kind of just one line peno. Because of what he did, no, it rather prepared the world for the gospel to be spread. And at the time one as one for no etisi ya Yesu kaze muko wiase nyina no na kasa omode ko has already been instituted, and that was the Greek language. In Tina New Testament Bible near see a trono in what? In Greek. Because na kasa ewiase mu ano Alexander the Great conquer ewiase no omo bi asua na kasa nto oba wo besua Greek or ukrum. And so the known world at that time was speaking Greek. And in that case, Joe, it was Koine Greek. So the word Koine Greek, and they say, a kasa, a Greek kasa, say, young can be. Joe, here, kasa, your friend, chi kasa. Yo, Mudo do saying, Ewo, Ghana, you're about 5. Chikasa.
Hey, you're 5, Samu.
About 5 or 4. You want
Atlantic okay.
You want Capri. You want Sama. You want Bono.
Savante cry advantage you wana.
Minim there, no, the minim so what I say, ain't say, Osha Saka say, I'm Abu Bossia. Nina, that's what I say, Yugusuka. If it happens, say, and they Young man said, nay, a crapim casa, a chum, young can be, Minusa, a jassa, a Georgia Samba Bumi.
On uncommon income, on uncommon income. So we now would I count on other kind of crapim.
Good, Joe, said crapim casa, chumwa, the children say, on the casa, a change a dynamic. It is a casa, a chum, which and Sambu. Do you understand it?
Yeah, but it's not. Maybe at the end of my say, who take English, for instance. English have changed. Expressions have come and go.
What it is gayer. First, in the case, the guy is gayer. Just an eniaje.
Yes, it has
But
changed. It has changed.
you are gay, and you need something you can you.
Another example, Kran say, when you say manufacture meant to make something with your own hands. But in our modern vernacular now, manufacture will have mean something like using machine to make sense.
And that's what do I do to BB? And
yes,
so what I do manufacture BB. So the word is changing.
Yeah.
Now the Koine Greek they usually throw Greek kasam. It is no longer in use. Obianka Koine Greek kasa, which means words are used to the throw New Testament, you know. Abe stagnant. Because I what I say.
There's no new change.
There's no new word making it change. It is say or you see the word be to say baptizo. New Testament more. Koine Greek no baptizo means Saudi obi ranso mabonasu. Now because a kasa no yan can be unti ejina hwa it enel koka baptizo Koine Greek more. It is still yedu obi ransom. But omo can Greek is say no omo can Greek kasa e friend no classical Greek. Eti obi kotu word bi. Now or say a Greek kasa yes obusan say which one? Is it classical Greek or Koine Greek?
So in other words, the lexicon of the Koine Greek don't need an update.
That
doesn't need an update to take care of modern nuances.
Until lexicon, you know breaking it down. Actually, I'm on tree.
You mean dictionary? Say,
exactly. Where's that hodwa you use to? Editor Koine Greek, no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying kasa ni bi onu nti no. And sesa ejina hwa because it's a dead language. What must I say? Now, Alexander the Great and the Bayer Sadia, no. And that's what we are seeing in the book of Daniel. Now, Yan Twaso, Alexander the Great is going to die. Sana, yeah, Twaso no can say.
Or say, and he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and shall be divided towards 4 winds of heaven, and not his posterity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled. For his kingdom shall plug up, and even other sides.
His kingdom shall what?
Be plugged up, even from others beside him.
But enemy called Daniel chapter 7. Let's go and read about this same person in that chapter 7, verse 6. Daniel chapter 7, the verse 6. Also saying.
Daniel 7, verse 6. And this after this I saw in the verses, no say, and after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
If this robber, jata,
yeah,
sitri, and was say what we say, leopard. Now this leopard, no, and was say he has 4 wings.
Yeah, wings or on turbine.
4 wings.
On turbine nine say a fowl.
Intakrabo what 4 wings. Mbacho twaso and also they 4 wings in the sea.
And after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, the 4 beasts dreadful.
There be 4 wings, you know. Who can
4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
And come back to chapter 11 and read verse 3 and tell me, say, if there's a difference.
That's the same person.
And a mighty king shall stand up. Chapter 7, verse 6. After this I behold, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of his back of it 4 wings of a fowl. And the beast had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. What to us over country? Say there's something going to happen to this for verse chapter 11, verse 3. He ruled with great dominion. Chapter 7, verse 6 say, dominion was given to him. Chapter 11, verse 3 say, he ruled with great dominion. And then see, verse 4, and when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken and shall be divided to toward the four
wings of heaven.
80.
And not his posterity.
Exactly. Joe, this is the same thing that we also read it even in Daniel chapter 7. Joe, Daniel chapter 7, the verse Daniel 7 verse 13. No?
Verse 13. No?
Mr. Kenga Kramami. Daniel 7 verse 7. Verse 7 first. Daniel 7,
after this, I saw them in the night vision, and behold, the fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake into pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all.
There's a fourth kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Now I want you to see the third kingdom. What happened to it? You see that in chapter 8, verse 8.
Chapter 8, verse 8. No?
Yes, chapter 8, verse 8.
Chapter 8, verse 8. Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great, and he was strong and great. The great horn was broken, and from it came up four notable ones towards the four winds of the earth.
The same thing I can was in chapter 7, verse 7 is the same thing I can was in chapter 8, verse 8. The same thing I can with chapter 11, verse 3. Four wings were broken out. Or he was broken and four wings came out. That has to do with Alexander the Great. The Bible describes him as the he-goat in chapter 8. That is how you need to understand the Bible. And when Daniel is talking about chapter 11, Daniel is telling us how Alexander the Great will come. When is he going to come? He is going to come at the time of the Medians and the Persians, the fourth king obey reign from Ethiopia to India or India to Ethiopia. And then what happens? His kingdom will be taken away. And Alexander the Great, back. On check. Yo, how many years now Alexander the Great is ruling? 6 years.
6 years.
6 years. Now 6 years, he conquered the whole world. That is what I always tell people. When you look at Daniel chapter, your friend saying 6 now, chapter 7 verse 6. Daniel chapter 7 verse 6. Yo, what you say now? Bible say he saw a leopard with 4 wings at his back. Leopard and Kasanoka and one of the fastest animals on earth.
On land. Yeah, on land. They are one of the fastest animals on land.
On land. Now on one kasa, you saw the wings as a gunechi.
Yes, and camera very strict.
He is the fastest because they say no, fastest on earth. You saw the wings a gunechi.
No, fastest.
Yo, 80 or the Mirika conquered the whole world. A story is said about Alexander the Great. I don't know how true is it. Bible mind said he conquered the world quickly and we right. But history said Alexander the Great bedru India no as a wapim. The civilized world at that time wapim. I feel they say Osu. Almost I didn't know Osu. I say there's no place to conquer again. Alexander the Great died. And history, wait, I will be able to Google. Go and Google, say, who were the 4 wings of Alexander the Great? What I can boss akeke.
Or four generals are really after.
About 4 wings, because it will easily bring out the generals. 4 generals came out of Alexander the Great. Joe, after Daniel chapter 11.
Well, yeah, Breno. Yeah, I want us to pause right here because strategic. Strategic. What's it strategically? May I deal with strategic movement? Maybe strategic. Me on pause why? See, I don't know. Send me also be actual commenting. Be actual commenting na or lavo. When the time of love and I cost. That's where you go. Now,
my teacher will say, stop when they want you to say more. When you are preaching, stop when they want you to say more. It's, you know, next week, come back, sorry.
Yeah, next week, come back, sorry. Next week, come back, sorry. But I say I'm late, but I've listened to a very powerful message. Watching live from you, I say, I just do. But say, entry Ephraim so. Ephraim so your boss watching live from Kwame and Susani. Who say, yeah, my Donko, my Joy Donko say, what good evening, brother, watching live from Accra, Tantra Hill. I just made and so at the Abbas, I always learning from the platform. I made Yvonne a J. And so, good afternoon. Mammy, a chow. Ubed, so say, I could mean kind of commentary. The commentary mean kind. Or the agenda now. Was it
come back, can't remember was it a
madam for the agenda now? We had the agenda. I say I like the shots behind the preacher. I need one, please. We have ya Amazon to we.
Hey, I'm on 40 to open them, no motion grow for them.
I'm doing ability. God bless you, brethren, for superhero best. And then the great was the Flash. Okay, you that's it. I don't for we are loving every bit of it. We encourage you be as subscribe to Charity TV, or subscribe to Charity TV. Just go to YouTube and type Charity TV and subscribe, hit the notification bell. So that I call live, I'll also be to me and now joining us. Facebook too, we are there. We are there on Facebook. You might be watching us from Facebook. Just go to Facebook and like our page. And please, Charity TV intentionally, we are intentional. I didn't make it intentionally. No, we have not monetized our content. We are not people who monetize. Intentional. The reason is that we are interested in sending a message out. We are not interested in Facebook money, they will pay us and all those things. We are not interested. We have people who are committed to supporting the work.
But will be discovered.
Yes, we have people who are committed to supporting the work. The platform, Kasa Richie Utri, it will be in film. It's kind of film. Yes, in film, and I make an in film. I don't pay for things like that. The only we don't even see the person on my live on my screen. So there are people who are working on interface now. You see them down there. Be a design, be logo at that top. Everything you see them doing here. Be an international design all these things. The point is that those people do for us, and we come in and do. So we don't monetize. We are not interested in monetizing our content. What we are just interested in is that the whole world, at least, to hear the gospel once in their lifetime. So help us by sharing the link. We'll share link now. You are not making us rich. You are just helping the gospel of Jesus Christ to go far and rich.
Joe, I think some I'm way so quickly. Emetia says someone here, yeah, Casal Sena, yeah, the brofo enemu. And the purpose is for people who are omonte ye kasa, and at least unim say obi shia mo ka chem say obetie ye na otia na kasa na switch it. Then it comes back. And then I say, are you able to understand what we say? Or say, oh yeah, at the end of the day, the point that I want to understand is made, and I understand that. But just that there are certain words are moka. To say the maka moka, he will not get that part. So as I say, at least we are trying, say, but at the same time, extend it to people who cannot understand the tree and also be able to learn from it. And I kasano, so I heard you kasano. Ye tree kasa, they say, one share that one fan Nansana Mite, I am fully bimpo, and benefying for a casino, or Kasa in another soon in them. A child say, Kasano say, no, what time brofoso are the afra. And when you speak like that, people are mutichino, or mutia say, Ubi so tichino, ebeti bibi. But just some man can be big a crab and sana.
Yeah, before maybe you come in, I'll let you come in. Yeah, we have some small time there. You come in. They may change at the forward in the The goal is just simple. Chariot TV, you have a single goal. Just send the gospel as far as we can go. As far as we can go. With all that language. We also have the vision of trying to do other languages as well. But it all comes for your support. It all comes. So all like platform now we didn't come much fry. Now one more it's the gati kasa and basso. Now person can the gatia, you might have a way of trying to communicate the same message in various dialects and so everything now almost joining. Thank you so much for your time. I mean the brethren and Bahano, they are wonderful. They like the platform, they help share the message. But let's keep on helping, let's keep on sharing. Let's keep on sharing the video. Let's talk to brothers. And you know, congregations now, there is something that we are trying to do here. I bet me Abuama Jesus Christ to assemble panel. And they
themselves to understand the
now was all commenting now was all passing before.
So, yes, I was just trying to connect near my where it lies. What must I say? Joe, the book of Daniel is giving us an idea of how Onyankopon planning say or the asori beba be serious. So one thing I say, you will not get ade ayekani. I don't want you to think say I am here talking about history. Now I was soon there no asoroko there be. I'm telling you how Onyankopon nam Daniel so kasafa ekwan a ode asori ebesi wo. No dey give you asem kwa na kwan odi besi won se obema ahemfo ahodo bi adika beba wiase no omo achi no e na ode na henie no eba be. So that is what we read about in Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2 is giving you a picture of how God is going to establish his kingdom, or the Nebuchadnezzar kingdom beba, or the Medo-Persia kingdom beba, or the Greece kingdom beba. Sa kingdoms miense we nyina no Bible discuss thoroughly the book of Daniel. The last one here discuss, which is the Grecian. Joe, their own can one same bebre. Your friend saying the Roman kingdom. In fact, yes, on can one say omo mudi min can say. But a description of them, which we will talk about maybe going next week near day. Roman a description of it.
The Roman Empire.
Roman Empire, Nini.
You can say Roman for mistakenly
it's the Roman Empire. No, we are not what China will say. Sa Roman Empire, ye penso. And on Yango Pombesina Hindian. So I say, the whole book of Daniel is to let you put a ruler or a tape line and measure the time one. Nebuchadnezzar by we are say Jeremiah pencil no be fa Israel for konkwasumu no mu free nkwasum ba ebe to asuma ebe wu Jesus. That's what you see. Joe, interestingly, that is the same thing that the book of Habakkuk is talking about. Habakkuk told us, said, Nyankopon so bema Chaldeans, the Chaldeans no mu free fa. Joe, eno na minusua no Mesopotamia hona Babylon for obemo mo be fra Israel for konkwasum omo ba omo enkwasum abusum biu, and the just shall live by faith. The book of Habakkuk chapter 2. The Bible is described is describing the sequence of events. Ebesi ansana asori no aba.
Yeah.
That's what the book of Daniel is doing. It's what drew, baby, drew, yeah. What describe what they drew the Grecian Empire, no? How they will come in, and how they will also be conquered by the Romans. Now you also to me about, and you know, it's a wonderful study, and I will entreat everyone say, Obeko so kind the book of Daniel. Now when we picture the God of heaven is given to all of us as we study his word. Joe.
Thank you so much. I mean, kind some few comments about Justin or say I'm watching you live from Accra, Tuba Brothers. Thank you, bro. But who say Eja Anane, Kweku Eja Kweku Anane Obin or say kudos for such amazing work. God bless you guys. Yeah, I am man. To say well done, Brother Shadrach. Insight. Brother Richard Donko from Henderson Church of Christ, NC. I'm also sharing. I don't know actually but say on tip chi. So please use English. But I was saying you say you was Santiago na ni aguna
Hey,
aguna me dia.
Miss Rao.
Obi aguna.
And fan free okra.
Na masa no fi.
Ayi be quiet chiwo baby.
Be quiet. Yo.
Quiet chiwo baby wo quiet mu a wo te we tra quiet mu adi ayi ahabayire ne sa na ma no. Make za ahabayire no. Enu bi na ayi ye sa bayire ne to ohene na no extra time no.
Koko ase bayire na.
Koko ase bayire a ene wa be gina sa untitwi akra.
We see Emmanuel Boafo this your background is ringing bell in my mind.
Mayfield. And come and do and say okay, masa.
Menkai, need agenda boys. For home. I'm more than unsubscribe, I'm more than subscribe. I don't do me you better share you. Same time next week, God willing. The best share you now. Yes, yeah. The book of Daniel and vision. But until then, please keep the book open. Bye bye.